All right, I need you to understand the scale of what we are about to cover because this evolution is genuinely insane. 300 million copies sold, not 300 million downloads, not 300 million accounts. 300 million individual copies purchased across 14 platforms in over 100 languages, more than the population of the United States. Used in classrooms in over 40 countries. And it was built by one guy in 6 days in a rented apartment in Stockholm. No publisher, no studio, no marketing budget, no team. Just one programmer, one monitor, and an idea that nobody asked for. The game started with 2 blocks on a flat world and became the best-selling video game in the history of the medium. And the story of how it got there is wilder than anything the game itself has ever generated. So let me take you back to where it all began. Because what that first version looked like compared to what it became, the contrast will genuinely blow your mind. May 2009. A programmer named Marcus Persson, known online as Notch, is working at a company called Yalbum in Stockholm. On his own time, he starts building a game inspired by a title called Infinimeter. He wants an open world where the player decides everything. He starts coding on May 10th. By May 16th, he has a working version, 6 days. And here is what that version looked like. 2 blocks, grass and cobblestone, flat terrain, no enemies, no crafting, no music, no sky texture. It looked like a graphics test from 1996. The game did not even have a real name yet. Internally, he was calling it Cave Game. He uploaded it to the TIG source forum and basically said, "Hey, what do you think? Are you kidding me?" That became this? The contrast between that first build and what Minecraft is today is absolutely unreal. But the community responded immediately. Players started building things Notch never imagined, and he updated the game in real time based on their feedback. That back and forth between developer and community became the secret weapon of Minecraft's entire evolution. The classic version added terrain generation, trees, lakes, creative mode, and multiplayer. Survival mode introduced zombies, skeletons, and spiders. And here is where it gets incredible. The Creeper, arguably the most iconic enemy in gaming history, was a mistake. Notch accidentally swapped the height and width values of a pig model. Instead of a pig, he got a tall green rectangle. Instead of fixing it, he gave it the ability to explode. A broken pig model is now more famous than 90% of intentionally designed video game characters. I genuinely cannot get over that. The development kept accelerating. NFDev removed all world boundaries and made the map procedurally infinite. And I need you to hear this number because it genuinely broke my brain the first time I read it. The full Minecraft world has a surface area of over 4 billion square kilometers. The Earth, the actual planet we live on, is 510 million. The game map is 8 times larger than reality. I had to look that up 3 times because I did not believe it. Notch quit his day job, founded Mojang Studios, and the alpha and beta phases added the Nether, weather systems, new biomes, Enderman, and the logo that the entire world would come to recognize. November 18th, 2011. Minecraft officially launched. The full release shipped with the End Dimension, the Ender Dragon boss fight, hardcore mode, breeding, brewing, and enchanting. In its first year, the game sold 4 million copies. No AAA marketing campaign. No publisher backing. No celebrity endorsements. Just a game that people could not stop playing and could not stop telling their friends about. 4 million copies from pure word of mouth and community love. From a forum post to a global launch in 2.5 years. Think about what that means. A solo programmer in a rented apartment outperformed studios spending $200 million per title. And he did it by listening to the people who actually played the game. And then, in September 2014, the landscape shifted permanently. Microsoft acquired Mojang for $2.5 billion. Let me say that again. One guy, 6 days of initial coding, 2 blocks on a flat world, and it sold for $2.5 billion. If that is not the most inspiring origin to empire story in gaming history, I genuinely don't know what is. But here is the bittersweet part. Shortly after the deal closed, Notch left. He stepped away from Mojang, from the community, from the game entirely. The man who built Minecraft in 6 days walked away from the world it had become. He has not been involved in development since. Most people expected the game to decline without its creator. Most people were wrong, because what happened next proved that the evolution was bigger than any one person. The updates that followed the acquisition did not just maintain Minecraft. They rebuilt it from the inside out. The Redstone update in 2013 turned the game into an engineering sandbox where players built functioning calculators, combination locks, and automated farms using circuit logic. The Aquatic update in 2018 transformed the oceans from boring, empty space into a living underwater world, with coral reefs, shipwrecks, dolphins, and turtles. The Village and Pillage update in 2019 overhauled every settlement in the game and added raids. The Nether update in 2020 completely redesigned the Hell Dimension with 4 entirely new biomes, and the Caves and Cliffs overhaul in 2021 doubled the world height limit and reimagined the entire underground with new geology, new mobs, and new terrain generation. Every single one of these updates would have been a headline feature set for any other game in the industry. For Minecraft, they were just another year, and the cultural impact went far beyond gaming. Minecraft Education Edition launched in 2016 and was adopted by schools in over 40 countries, teaching children problem-solving, collaboration, and computational thinking through the same blocks Notch coded in a week. The game partnered with the World Wildlife Fund to add pandas and raise awareness about conservation. The Buzzy Bees update highlighted the global decline of pollinator populations. On YouTube, creators built entire empires inside the game. Alan Becker's Animation vs. Minecraft crossed 250 million views. Players constructed scale replicas of cities, functioning computers, and concert venues block by block. Minecraft stopped being a game. It became a platform, a creative language, a place where the only limit was imagination. And people proved over and over that imagination has no ceiling. 300 million copies, 14 platforms, more than 100 languages, more players than the population of the United States, the United Kingdom, and Germany combined. It surpassed Grand Theft Auto 5. It surpassed Tetris. It surpassed every single title that had ever claimed the best-selling throne. And here is the part that gets me. It is still growing. New players are discovering it every single day. The number has not stopped climbing since 2009. Not once. Let that sink in for a moment. And it all traces back to a flat world with 2 blocks, coded in 6 days by a programmer who was not even sure anyone would play it. That is the evolution of Minecraft, from cave game to 300 million copies, from a rendering test on a forum to a cultural institution used in schools, museums, and the imaginations of an entire generation. The greatest evolution stories do not start with a business plan. They start with someone who builds something because they cannot stop thinking about it. Someone who listens when the community speaks. Someone who turns a broken pig model into the most famous enemy in gaming. And someone who, when the world came knocking with $2.5 billion, had the honesty to say, "I built what I built and now it belongs to you." Which era was your era? Classic? Alpha? Beta? The Nether update? The Caves and Cliffs overhaul? Tell me in the comments, because whichever version you grew up with, that was the one. And if you think this evolution was wild, wait until you see what we cover next, because the next one might be even crazier.